What's up, guys? This is John, aka Latherhog. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining today's live stream. I hope you guys are all doing well. And folks who are with us in the live audience know that we're just running a little bit behind. We had to do a quick mic check, some technical stuff, but we are rolling. And who was I doing a mic check with? Well, let me introduce to you my guest for today. He is one half of Instagram's BBS.Live. He is Mr. Nate Bauermeister, wet shaving enthusiast and friend of the channel. So let me bring on Nate right now. Hey, Nate, how's it going?
Up? How's it going? And everything sounds good still, correct?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you.
Awesome.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you okay. I can't see the comments, which kind of sucks. I don't know.
Not a problem. I should Bilu, who helped me run this before, if you open up the YouTube video, that's how you can check. I know you have like a tablet on the side.
Yeah,
you can.
I will do that.
Yeah, you can run a lot. You can see what people are saying about you.
Okay. Yeah.
trash talk them back. You know, all that.
Well, I definitely have to open that up to check it out then. So
yes.
Sweet. Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. There we go. Got
and
it.
You'll see there'll be a little bit of delay. So
yeah.
You know, as you do. So let me just give some quick shout outs with who's in our live crowd here. Bilu, who I just mentioned, John, Sloppy Badger, Howard. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hey, Art, how's it going? And if you are watching along, please say hi so we know that you're watching. Very happy to have you guys here.
Yeah. So John, I think I told you I am still working, but I wanted to do this. So I'm going to try my best to not look at my computer.
Yeah, okay.
It is pretty slow today, so I shouldn't have that issue. But and hopefully so Jenny's here with our son Ben, and he's going to be going down for a nap. So his room's right there and the sound machine's going to be going
in case we hear him.
So you should it's not that loud, but in case. So
no worries. You know, as a parent myself, I know how it is. Just happy to have you join me. And if you do need to run for family or work emergency, totally understandable. I don't expect you, like, we run about an hour, give or take, but you don't by any means have to be here for the whole time. But we are happy to have you.
Thank you.
I will also just mention, because I don't want to feel like I'm throwing shade at Mel, we will have to reschedule this for like an evening time where I can have him on or both of you on or something like that.
Well, I did tell him last night that I was going to do this with you, and he is actually working. He was going to work a half day today. So he said he might pop on if he has popping into the comments if he
Yes.
But
he popped on before too. But I know he has a very busy schedule too. But for sure, and Mel, if you're watching this back, we'll get you on here.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Carlos? Carlos is here. So,
thanks, John.
I was prepping Nate before, but this is not a super formal interview segment. That being said, I do have some questions for you.
Okay.
And I had one from another friend in the shaving community too. So we'll do a little bit of that just to kind of as an icebreaker. But
for sure.
And this goes along with Nate's intro. So he is one half of BBS.Live. It is a bi-weekly show. I think that's right. Every other week on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and there's other, whatever equivalent time zone you're in from that point on.
Yes.
You guys, how many years has it been since you first started?
So we officially started on IG March of 2020. So we just hit 3 years.
Oh, congratulations. I thought a big number kind of just came up. All right.
And so I guess technically we hit our 3 years of doing lives in October, because again, as you know, we started them on Facebook. But yeah, we just hit 3 years in March, which is kind of crazy. So
congratulations. Yeah, congrats.
You left the screen. I got
I'm still here. Don't worry. I'm still here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so 3 years. I got to play cameraman too. That's what I'm playing with here. So So yeah, congrats on that.
Yeah.
And personally, I wanted to know, right? Like, as you're getting ready for the show, you always have a bunch of giveaways, because that's one big thing, is that there's so much generosity both from you and Mel, but from
Yeah.
from the community, from
Yeah.
artisans and vendors, from just other wet shavers, and that's, I think, it's always been a very positive thing going on, especially for those active over on Instagram. That being said, what is your favorite part of the show as you're prepping for it, either on the show itself or getting ready for the show every other week? What's your favorite part
I
of
mean,
that
I think
process?
like everyone that does a live, the best moments are kind of in the comments, when it gets
Hmm.
kind of crazy after a few.
Hmm.
And we've added some segments, and one of the segments that's later in is Urban Dictionary with Mel. So that gets pretty I mean I forgot who it was, but they said that they're new to watching the show, but they look forward to the Urban Dictionary with Mel, which that means they're on for a good 2 hours by then, because that's typically around 10 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the comments. The questions are always good. I think the random giveaways that we don't have on the list, because we've switched it up so much, where we used to give so much every live, like it would just get too much. So we kind of tried to limit it to at least, at the max 10. But I
Yeah.
think the past few lives we've gotten over that, but still 10 giveaways is crazy. But just seeing like the random sporadic, like kind of pretty sweet giveaways. So that's always good. Yeah, I don't know. Each live is so different that it could be different of why I liked it so much, but and we get into these, starting the lives, like Mel and I try to talk like 20 minutes before they start,
Hmm.
but sometimes it's, we're running around that we just kind of start up right away without even talking. So
Yeah, you just
but
get thrown right into the beginning of the show, right?
right. So no, it's still really fun. Again, we've switched it up to try to switch it up, because sometimes
Yeah.
it can get stagnant after doing it for so long. So I think adding the segments, I think in general, like adding our different lives, our uncorkings that we had you on. I forgot
Yep.
when that was, last spring, maybe. Yeah, I
Oh,
think last
maybe
spring.
it's been yeah, some time has passed. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are always, fun to try to kind of switch it up, because that live is completely different than our normal BBS lives. So
Right.
which just saying that we have one tonight if you guys want to join. So
Oh, yes, that's right.
yes.
And is that the same start time? It'll be 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Central, and
Yeah, always 8 o'clock. I think
always
there's
8 o'clock. Okay.
times where we did 7 o'clock for the uncorkings, but it just seemed like it seemed right to just keep it at the same time so it doesn't confuse anyone. So
And who do you have any special guests on for tonight?
yeah, so we have I forgot. I think this was in October when we had, so her name is Jessie, and on Instagram, her, whatever you call it, her IG name, I
Oh,
don't know what the certain name, but it's Lady in the Bourbon. So
yeah.
when we had her on, her husband Mike was also with her, and we've actually started a friendship with him. So we're like, Jessie was so sweet, so let's have you on too. So she will be there as well, kind of as a returning guest, like the
Okay.
first returning guest to an uncorking. But then so we're gonna have him on, and they're a blast. So we're gonna be uncorking Baker's 7-year tonight, which is a very tasty bottle if you guys can get it. So
that's one that you've already had prior to the tasting.
yeah, I've
The
already tried
uncorking
that
rather.
one. Yeah, but the thing is, they're all single barrels, so
True.
it could taste different, maybe. So I think the funny thing is, I think we all have different barrels, so we weren't able to get the same one. So
That's hard. That's kind of hard to do.
That's the second time going into it, because I know with the Maker's Mark cast drink, I don't think, maybe DK, because that's when we had DK, maybe DK and Brandon had the same one, but Mel and I didn't. So,
Oh,
we'll see how it goes. So, yeah.
I've had that bottle, although I would say probably 2 years, maybe 3 years ago. It was for me, it was like a woody. It wasn't overly sweet, but it's more on that oaky kind of finish. Like
Yeah.
real strong.
So like with all like the Beam products, to me, I always get like a super nutty peanut flavor from all of them. So I'm excited to try it again because the last bottle I had was really good and I finished it too quick.
Ooh,
Because
okay.
it was really good. And with Baker's, and they kind of compare it with Booker's, but Booker's, is more expensive, higher proof. And a lot of people say that Baker's is probably one of Jim Beam's best products that they offer. So I wish I had a bottle of Booker's to just compare the two. But I don't, because those are like $90, sometimes more than that. So
and they're harder to find, at least here in Mass.
Yeah.
I used to see them more often, but not as of late. And that's kind of in general, right? For the allocated or harder to find bourbon,
right?
It's the harder to find bourbon. It's harder to find. Oh, God. Okay. Anyway,
Yep.
you get my point. Let me see. Sometimes I can highlight comments. I'm just going back here. Oh, Carlos says Nate's beard on fleek.
Carlos, a lot of people tell me to get rid of my beard, but he's the one that he loves it. He loves my beard. So thank you, Carlos.
Thanks, Carlos. he is the friend, or our wood shaving buddy,
right,
that has another question. But what is this? Sometimes there might be inappropriate questions that Chad is asking, from at risk of being demonetized.
Right.
we'll keep that off. Also, thank you for wearing the. I did not ask Nate to do this, but the lather talk T-shirt. Thank you for showing your love for the podcast.
I didn't know what shirt to wear, and then I was like, oh yeah, I do have. John did send me a T-shirt. I should probably wear that, shouldn't I? So.
Yeah, not in anticipation for this live, but in the past, sometime in the past.
Yes. Which it's very nice. It's a very nice shirt. Seems like everyone sticks. You could see this with breweries too. Like they all have kind of the same shirt, same brand. Except I don't like these tags. These tags, long tags, just suck.
Just cut it.
No, I know that. But they have the T-shirts now that don't have the tags in it.
They do have tags. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but these shirts are always great. So
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Before I forget, so Shave on Gents, Carlos, his question to you was, how many pairs of pants other than Zubaz do you own?
That I own or that I wear?
He said own. And just to preface this, for those who don't know, Nate on both BBS.Live and his live shaves on Instagram usually is wearing Zubaz. And if you don't know what Zubaz are, he's wearing them right now. He's showing them to us.
These are
90s? 90s, right?
Yeah, like late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. They were big. I know, like, pro wrestlers, and I think athletes really like them because of comfort. Style. I mean, they come in like crazy patterns, as you just saw. So yeah, he said own. So let's go with that.
Let's see. I have 3 pairs of jeans. I have my BBS.Live joggers that I wear.
Oh.
I think that's it. I mean, I got some like dress pants that I rarely wear. I actually got 2 very nice dress pants that I wear to weddings.
That brings us to 6. Did I add correct?
Yeah, 5 or 6. But
5 or 6. Yeah. Okay.
How many pairs of pants do you have, John? Like, I feel like with jeans, like you wear them so much that they actually tell you to not like wash jeans like after one use.
Because, I mean, it can. Yeah, it doesn't need to be washed after every use. At the same time, it's like depending how how much you like a worn in look.
Right.
I have probably too many pants, but it's that's neither here nor
Yeah.
there.
Well, like and with me, if I'm throwing on jeans, it's like on the weekend, like Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday. I would say I don't remember the last time I wore jeans Monday through Thursday. Actually, that is not true. Actually, I missed out. I missed out on a pair of pants that I wear during bowling. So I do
What kind of
have
pants
those.
were those?
Huh?
Like chinos, or what would you wear for bowling?
I think are they Dickies?
Okay.
I don't know what brand they are, but I've had they're the only pants I wear during bowling. Like that, if I wear them, it's bowling purposes. I don't wear them anytime. They're actually a little too big for me. So,
This is good.
yeah.
So follow-up question, and it's like the inverse. So Art asks, follow-up question, how many pairs of Zubas do you own?
Okay, so I have these ones that I just got recently, which so the start of my the Zuba.
Yeah. Bring us back. Why Zubas? Maybe that's
So
what we want to know.
I'm pretty sure, yes, that early 90s when I was little, there was a picture, and I think I posted this, of me wearing Zubas. So obviously I haven't been wearing them my entire life, but the Minnesota Twins, which these are twins ones, every year they do Zubas Palooza. I think it's in August.
Oh.
So we went years ago with probably like 2016, maybe before that, maybe 14. We went with some friends and we got them, and I'm like, I like them. I really like these. And like I wore them so much that it's funny with Zubas. When you wear them so much, the ass blows out on them. Like it gets like super
thin. Oh.
Yeah, thin.
Oh no.
So I was like, well, I have to get more. So I got like 2 pairs, and then I got Zuba shorts, which are awesome. I highly recommend Zuba shorts, especially in the summer. Not to go out and wear them where people can see you.
This is strictly for home use for you.
Yes, I never wear Zubas outside of the house, just so you guys know.
Okay, I wasn't so sure, so thank you for clarifying that.
Yes. So I probably 4 pairs of pants and 2 shorts. So I probably have 5 or 6 pairs.
Art has a follow-up. There's a rumor that Nate's wife was a Zubaz model.
Was she a Zubaz model? Yes, she was. Yes, she was. So her aunt used to work for Zubaz. And she, when she was younger, and she actually.
I did not know that. So are they're local to you?
Or I don't know, but apparently she worked for them. So okay. I don't know if that was like, but there was a picture of her in Zubaz with actually Chris Carter. So if you guys don't know, Chris Carter was a really, 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 really good Hall of Famer wide receiver for the Vikings and the Eagles. I guess he started with the Eagles, but yeah, she had a picture with him. So
okay, yeah. That's fun fact I learned today.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, John. I just have to turn back my turn my computer back on.
This show is totally professional. It's totally normal. Pay no mind to the clacking of his keyboard.
Yes.
No, it's really, really not a problem. Okay. Well, thanks for tackling that question from both Carlos and Art. Yeah. So there's, a lot of funny things. Like, it's inside joke, but not really an inside joke. There's these traditions that Nate and Mel have, and he mentioned the segments, and I think like it's always great to hear what is your favorite part. And I mean, to me, with all that, it still goes back to audience interaction, because you mentioned what segments that you add, what other how do you expand. It's very much based on like a feedback loop with the people who are. Yeah, you're with your audience. So that's really awesome. Really, really glad to hear that.
Yeah. Well, and then I think it's just another thing too with doing the lives is also getting to meet, the other influencers like yourself and, the Canadian Mafia show. And I guess, earlier on we've done some lives with like I am CDB and David
Yeah, yeah.
Gonzalez, thinking like when I started wet shaving, I never would, talk with them because they're like big YouTubers, like big YouTubers, but like actually having a relationship with them, like
Yeah.
is kind of crazy to me. So, and now getting into, meeting the whiskey IG people and getting to know them too. So that's fun too.
Right. And given that you're on year 3 now, right? I think would you agree in that time? Because that's roughly the same timeline that I've been doing, like the YouTube channel and
Yep.
content
Yeah.
creation and all that. It's like you've seen waves of people come and go.
Right.
So always I feel like there's another new crop of people. And just to mention that Carlos Siobhan Gents, like he's part of a new crew doing stuff on Instagram.
Right.
And it's great to see kind of like people who just new faces, new blood, which I think really brings right freshness and revitalizes, uh, like just like the environment for hobbyists.
Well, yeah, especially, I mean, like Sloppy Badger and
Yes, I forgot to mention.
Sloppy Badger. Cool.
I try I try not to mention Sloppy Badger
Yeah,
as much as I can. Yeah.
yeah, but like, like you bring up Carlos and the fact that he's, new, but like he is so enthused and he's so like giving, like already. Like you bring up, Mel and me and how we give away a lot during the live, but we kind of have pulled back a little bit from it. And if we do a giveaway, it's kind of bigger.
Sure.
Instead of just doing like, gift cards every week or whatever, like it legit got to the point where we just had too many giveaways. It made no sense for us to throw in something. So, but Carlos is starting to get to the point where I kind of want to ask him, like, hey, do you just, I mean, it's up to you, but you're contacting us, like wanting to do gift cards. Like, do you just want to be a new, I don't know. I don't want to say a,
are you trying not
sponsor.
to say like a sponsor?
Sponsor.
He's a supporter of the show. Yeah.
Because he does it anyway. And it's not just with us. It's with everyone. Everyone that does, give away anything on a live. Like he just always is there. So I'll have to ask him that. I know he's in the comments right now. Maybe he is. Oh, he said sponsor for sure. Well, Carlos, we'll talk about it.
Official sponsor of BBS.Live. Yeah. So that is a great, and I think that is the best part of the community. I think is the generosity, and whether it's coming from like old hat, people who've been around for a while, people who who are just new, and like you said, like they're so excited about wet shaving, and not only are they still trying stuff, but they're like, oh, I'm trying this, but I try, but I've moved on from here. So why don't you give it a try? And it's like a really positive domino effect. So I definitely have observed the same thing from Carlos and others, and it's really great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's amazing. Like and again, people say that Mel and I are generous, but we're not as generous as, again, some other people out there that they do it. They don't have a show. They just do it. They're not looking at anything. They just want to give back to the community. So
totally.
It's yeah. It is cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the perfect place for it's who you want to introduce like new wet shavers to, right? To be able to have either information, straight up trying stuff, owning stuff. It's good to have. But kind of pivoting from there, we were talking before we were rolling. This topic. What shaving gear are you currently enjoying? And this is wide open. Like I said, does not have to be a new product, but is there anything that you've really been going to a lot in your shaves as of late?
Yeah. I mean, if I know I want a really good shave, it's going to be the Blackbird, and it's going to be the Carbon, and it's titanium now. Like
both or
both titanium.
Both.
Yeah. Yeah,
just making sure. I
yeah,
figured, but
it's I've said it on our lives before, but coming from someone that didn't like light razors and then trying, the Blackbird for the first time, that was the first like titanium coming back into it, because I know I've tried the
timeless, right? Yeah,
timeless, which was fine, but I think I was realizing that I just don't like timeless razors. Like they just don't work well for me. I mean, maybe I have to give them a go again, but I've had a few and it's been years. Everything changes. And then I
true.
think that was the only timeless or titanium I tried. But then, yeah, trying the Blackbird and already liking the Blackbird and then going to titanium, it's awesome. The carbon titanium is awesome. And actually, I kind of, if I'm getting a razor, I
Yeah,
kind of just want to get titanium,
sure.
or just experimenting with getting a lighter like brass or stainless steel, like something that's not, I don't need that extreme weight as what I thought I did back in the day,
Sure.
or thought what I liked. So yeah, my titanium razor, I actually just picked up the Haircut and Shave Co. TI Efficient, which is a very nice razor. If you've never tried it, John, maybe I have to send you mine to give it a try.
Ooh,
Very nice.
yeah, I haven't tried that one.
Yeah, very nice. It's the only thing I would say I would want change is the handle length is just too long for me. But I know talking with Aji, he was going to possibly come out with a shorter handle for his titanium razors. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's that. Trying to think of like, brushes. I try to switch up my brushes all the time. I think I'm using a lot of synthetic knots recently, just because you don't have to worry about the lather. So I mean, they're so easy to use.
You can turn off your brain, right, with the synth and be fine.
Yeah, and then soaps. Been digging a lot of Gentleman's Nod. I mean, Musashi is the best. It's the best scent. I'm just in general. It's my favorite scent of all time. But
really? Like
yeah. Oh, it's not.
above.
Yeah, not even close.
Dang. Okay. I knew you liked it, but I didn't realize it occupied that spot
Yeah.
for you.
No, I love.
Damn.
That. And you brought up, or you and Gerard did your yearly awards, and I know Chris won. Like, what is that? What was the best scent or
a best original scent?
Best original scent.
Yeah, really long name, but yeah,
yeah.
Best original, yeah.
And I know people loved Koseishi Catalana, and it's good. Or they were saying they like it more than Musashi, and it's good, but not to me. And Musashi just hands down better. I've tried some RN Evans stuff, new stuff from Peter. So the Emerald Moss is really good. I really enjoy, especially you, John, that likes tea scents, the Hand That Bites. I don't know if you have that one yet. That would be a good one to try for you. Very nice black tea scent, but there's more to it than
other stuff. Okay. Oh
yeah, very nice.
I will put that on my radar.
I haven't really been purchasing that much soap and splash lately, just because I'm trying to get through that so I can get more.
Yes, I feel you. I feel you on that.
I've been purchasing more like razors and I guess brushes, but not like, it's calmed down a lot for that, which I think happens to a lot of people that have been wet shaving for a long time. They go balls deep, and then they just kind of like, oh my god, I shouldn't say everyone, by the way, because there's the guys that just keep on they run out of room, but I'm definitely not that person. I can't be that person. I need to get through some stuff.
Also, baby stuff takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, it really does.
It's and money, like space and money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Daycare's awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense as far as the titanium train, and yeah, I'm with on your choices. You're very much aligned there. So I'll check it. Yeah.
It's expensive. Like, I get why people love titanium, but it's if you can, like, if you can sell stuff, like titanium's going to last longer than any other material, metal, whatever. And it's just the perfect weight for what we need in wet shaving.
Agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've heard it compared. Like it's like a Goldilocks situation.
Yeah.
So where your brass, stainless steel, whatnot, wind up being too heavy, and then on the other side, aluminum, which is great, like very cost efficient
Right.
material, is
Right.
often too light. And titanium, it's not even that much heavier than aluminum, but it's
Right.
just enough where it's like it has to be substantial,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It just meets the criteria,
Right.
and it's such a sweet spot.
Yep. Yep.
But it does cost a lot, and yeah,
Especially that carbon. That carbon is super expensive.
yeah. And on that note, Ben says titanium Carve Overlander.
Yeah.
When many people have asked this, people hound Chris from Carve to do
Yeah.
titanium. We know titanium is a difficult material to work with from
Right.
him and other razor makers, but that's the dream. I know that is the goat razor, like either a titanium Overlander, if not a titanium Christopher Bradley. That's on their wish list.
Right. So John, so I've tried the Overlander, but it wasn't mine. I just tried it.
It's too mild for you.
No.
Knowing your razor. No.
So John, my preferences, I feel like, are changing.
Okay.
So
viewers, this happens. You are allowed to change your mind.
Right. So I mean, John, as you know, like, I used to love blade feel, which I still do, but it has calmed back where I just need to be able to feel the blade, and it has to be an efficient razor. So when I use the Overlander, you know, Bilu also said the exact same thing. I actually watched the live where I used it. And yeah, Bilu said that it's just going to be way too mild for you. But I liked it. And for some reason, I think my reasoning for not wanting it was the fact that I said it was, which is so stupid, it was too easy of a razor to use. That doesn't make any sense.
Dude, I've heard other people say that, though.
But it's
you're
like
not you're not a weirdo for saying that, but I've heard the same exact thing.
Like, there was nothing, like, you didn't, it was definitely a cruise control razor. Like, you did not have to think about it. So like, I stuck with my Christopher Bradley, and at the time I had like the F plate or something, because I was like, I need blade feel. But I'm gonna get an Overlander in brass. I think my other reason for not wanting the Overlander, the handle length was too much. But now talking with Chris, it's like, you can order whatever handle you want with the Overlander.
Have you seen the Gillette Tech inspired Fat Tech handle?
Yes. Those are sweet. So I'm not gonna get that one.
Okay.
So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the Overlander head, and then I'm getting the Wagner handle.
Okay.
That's the one if you'll see it, or you'll see it and be like, yeah, I saw that. But it's the design of it is awesome. And then it's the CUBR handle, and that's where it's kind of close with the aluminum, where it was the black, and then you could get the different colors for the bottom part of the handle.
Okay. And
so what Chris did a brass, and then he has a copper butt to it, or whatever you want to ending to it. So I'm gonna get those two, and then, because I can't decide which one. Carlos wants me to get the Wagner because it is sweet, but I feel like I need to get both and have them in my hands and shave with them to see, because I'm not gonna have like 3 handles for one razor. I just want one handle.
That's ridiculous.
And so yeah, I'm gonna bring in the Overlander. I'm gonna get rid of the Christopher Bradley. I don't know if I'm gonna do a giveaway or if I'm gonna sell it. We'll see.
Whichever you decide, right?
So. Yeah, exactly. I probably will give it away, whatever. But yeah, Chris is doing a lot of sweet stuff. And actually, the aluminum razor that Chris did, the aluminum Overlander, is so sweet looking too.
It looks great, like the red black one.
Right.
Yeah. Fantastic looking razors.
Yeah.
So we are talking a lot about DEs, but when I was when I was setting our live up, I did say we're going to talk about straight razors, at least for a little bit. And I know there's some folks in the here in the live audience who definitely want us to address that. So we can let's why don't we hit that topic for a little bit?
Okay.
So I just for the visual, this is something that I've gone back into recently after taking a little bit over of a year break from starting straight razors. I think I got about like 16 straight razor shaves in, and then between doing, the main challenge was doing content, and it's hard to review or feature soaps or even cover other DE razors, which are easier to do than straight razors. That's what made them fall to the wayside. But speaking, going back to how our preferences change, having gone back into them in 2023, Nate, my tolerance or preference for at least a little bit more blade feel than I did before. So it's like the opposite, right? Like we're kind of meeting in the middle where you're like, I don't need where you were, I don't need as much blade feel. I'm like, oh, I don't mind a little bit more if it's gonna give if it's gonna give me that much more efficiency.
Right.
So, which kind of lines up with the Blackbird, the Blackland Blackbird in particular, because that always had blade feel, but it just never connected. Like it doesn't make sense because it doesn't match all my other all my other like favorite razors, but there's something to it.
Yeah.
So it's been fun getting back into them. First question for you here is, like, in your mix of shaves, how often do you use a straight razor? I guess at least in these past few months.
So straight razors are so, oh my God, I don't know what to call it for me, because I think I've tried to get into straight razors like 3 times. And
Okay.
I like straight razors. Like I like the feel of them. Having that blade is nice. But for some reason, like I'll use them, and then they'll go away. And so now having a beard, like I haven't used a straight razor and I don't even remember last time I used it.
Okay.
So, I like them, and I know for a fact I'll get back into them, but it's getting to the point where, I got into straight razors and I wanted to use all the straight razors, and I wanted to have like the Japanese razors and the, artisan razors and all that stuff. And now I'm getting to the point where even if I get back into straight razors, I don't need many, because I don't know how long it's going to be until I'd be like, okay, I'll just go back to D's for a good year or whatever. So I have a love-hate relationship with them.
It's interesting. I should have probably gone back and forth with you a little bit more about this.
But
like this is still very interesting, because at a time you were using them very regularly.
Right.
But,
So actually that video that I just watched of using the Overlander, I also used Subtle Art soap. Like when God, I'm blanking on his name. No, it's not Mark. God, why am I blanking on his name? It'll come to me.
Okay.
He was just coming out with his product, so he sent me a soap to use. And I was like, I love it, but I'm going to have to test it out with my straight razor. So it's like, I went on a good stretch of using them because I really like them. And I was getting great shaves. And I remember when it finally clicked, like, oh yeah, I can see why people like using them. And then for some reason, I just went away from them again. I don't know if it's because of the maintenance and how you got to make sure the edge is good. You get like all that stuff. And when you're stropping, you better not roll the edge. And I didn't know if I was rolling the edge, because it's not like I have a magnifying glass look.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then, everyone, I think it was the whole COVID thing, no one had anything to do. And like, I feel like straight razors came back into it, and then everyone was straight razor shaving and then honing.
Yeah. That's what
like, yeah. And like Magic Mike, like got like all like the stones, and like David was getting into it. And it was just, I feel like that's when everyone started talking. Well, makes sense, because that's when all the lives started happening too. Sure. So I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with them. I know I'll get back. using them at one point, but I don't know when that will be. I know Art probably in the comments said, use it for your head. Use it on your head for head shave. And it's like, I'm never going to do that. I don't want to do that. It seems like it would be a pain in the ass to do that. And actually, I shouldn't say I have. It wasn't a straight razor. It was, again, I'm blanking on the name, but it was, they used DE razors.
Like a shavette kind of thing?
Yeah, it was kind of like a shavette, but it was.
But not quite.
Yeah, it didn't have the, it was long brass. It was kind of a janky one. It was like made in Italy. Someone will probably put it in the comments. I think Bilu had one. He really liked it. But I tried to use that for a head shaver, and it was not pretty.
Ew.
It was not good. So let's see if you.
Yeah, as a non-head shaver, I just can't imagine like you guys or guys who do it without a pivoting head, because that's, you know, the head being round. I mean, I guess, you know, the face is round, but still, like you're shaving parts that you can't even directly see.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bilu. Yeah. The Razorine. That was it. Razorine. Yeah. It was. They could have made it better, because it didn't really hold the blade in that well. Like the nubs were like nothing.
Oh,
so trying to actually get them in line. Yeah, it was.
So it had blade chatter, basically, like really bad, bad.
I feel, yeah. I mean, I can't remember. I'm sure it did.
That's okay.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the best razor to probably use for a head shave. Maybe I do have to use a straight razor. It'll probably be better, but I don't know. I don't trust myself to do that.
And just on the topic of the Razorine, Bilu says, agreed, it's different, but it's not good. So he's with you there.
Okay. Well, I thought Bilu at one point said he liked it, but maybe that was someone else.
Apparently not.
No. Or maybe he said he had it. Maybe that I think he had it.
And one thing I'm sharing on the screen right now. So I took a quick poll from the viewers. This is a month ago, and it was very interesting.
Wow.
As each week passed by, it came to this. Instead of being like a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split, it kind of settled into 51 people have tried straight razor shaving and 49 have not.
But like,
So,
I wonder
half.
I wonder if you did that poll at in 2017 or 18, what the numbers would have been. Like it could have been
higher.
That 70-30 type of thing, because I feel like a lot of people got into it, you know, in 2020. Or I think there's been like stretches of oh my god, everyone's using straight razors. So I think it was like 2017 or 18, and then it was 2020 again. I feel like it's every 2 or 3 years where they just become like a hit again.
Also, I think it depends for which, you know, like which, what's the right word, like platform, which community you're talking about. Because like this is like, you know, we travel in the same circles, but then let's say a group over on Reddit, a group over on one of the message boards or forums like Badger and Blade. You know, it's like there's different pockets of people try it at a different time. I guess for me, I feel like if you count yourself as a wet shaving enthusiast or hobbyist, I say put it on your bucket list of things to try. Like at the very least, try it out. But I am totally like with what you said and what other people have said. There's a higher barrier of entry, given that you need to have a strop. You need to probably have someone else hone it first and then rehone it if you're using it for like, you know, a year. I don't know how often you're supposed to hone it up, but
it all depends probably on
you gotta
or hair type and how often you use it. But I think again, you know, it's very easy and not really cost you that much to get into straight razors. Like, especially if you get a gold dollar from someone, it's going to cost you like $35 to probably hone.
Yeah.
And then you can get like a paddle strop. Really, you don't even have to get like a normal strop could probably find one for like $40. So it's like not crazy.
But like the initial startup cost is more, and you can argue too that like, oh, once you get a safety razor, a brush and a soap, I mean, how much are you putting in? But you know,
Right.
it is a higher barrier of entry. Um, one thing I wanted to ask you is, despite it's not in your regular rotation now, but if you had one piece of advice for someone either just starting or wanting to get into straight razor shaving, what's that one piece of advice you would give them?
Watch the YouTubers. Watch the really good straight razor or YouTubers that use straight razors. Because you need
And
to
study.
know. Yeah, like you have to. It's scary going into it right away. Just I think even with using a safety razor, because they're so different than cartridges, but like using a
True.
straight razor the first time is like, oh my, I'm going to chop my face off pretty much. But you need to see like you have to watch, the Stallion. You have to watch David Gonzalez. I know there's other ones that I'm forgetting. A lot of guys overseas. Johan,
Shaven
even though
Butcher.
yeah,
Hmm.
even though
Hmm.
he holds it super weird, man, he can use a straight razor, and he does head shades with a straight razor as well.
Oh,
So
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that pretty much that's what I would say is you gotta watch the YouTubers that are really good at straight razor shaving.
That's great, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that you were able to give a few examples, just because folks watching this who might be interested, they might be drawn into today's video because they're interested in it. It's good to know who other people have watched, and I've seen all those folks, and I'm blanking if there's anyone else I wanted to add. I think you've
Well,
covered the bases.
there's
Yeah,
there's
there's tons.
so many people, but like
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the people that I actually like when I was trying to get into it, like who I would watch, and like you know you can think all you want of Sochard David, but that guy knows how to use a straight razor. So I love David. First of all, I'm just saying, but I know how David is. Some
I'm,
people cannot like him, but
for the topic of learning how to straight razor shave,
right,
absolutely agree.
yeah,
Absolutely agree.
yeah.
He was very helpful, like you're saying,
Mm,
during pandemic when we're all chatting.
David's
Uh,
great. Yeah,
Pointers, right? Pointers for what to
yeah,
do straight razor shaving. Yeah, always a great resource.
right,
So, mhm,
right.
totally.
Yep.
All right. So Nate's piece of advice is watch some YouTubers, watch some tutorials. Which I'm gonna say I'm one who should, when I'm getting into something new, I usually do a very nerdy, like deep dive into it, watching tons of videos, reading articles and whatnot.
Oh,
And for straight razor shaving was no different. I watched a bunch of videos before a
it,
blade ever touched my face,
it's
and
worth it. It's yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yes, I can totally co-sign on that. All right, um, I know I asked for an hour for you, and we're almost up on the hour, Nate.
I'm
So
I'm
yeah.
I let's see. Let's see. I do have some emails, but again, I'm
Oh,
not running
that's
back into it. I
okay.
have I have I have time, so
Well, I did want to do the time check and just move us along,
yeah.
but so you I basically want to make sure I give you a chance to any plugs and stuff for stuff coming out. Uh, we talked about you have an uncorking, which is a
Hmm.
live
Yep.
tonight
Yep.
over
Tonight.
BBS.Live.
Yep. So yeah, and follow Mike's IG handle. That's what it is. IG handle is 1311 misc, which is I'm assuming miscellaneous. So 1311 MISC, and he does a lot of turning as well. So
Really?
let's see. Yeah, so
Pen?
he made this right here, which is Maker's Mark made out of Maker's Mark staves. So he knew I
Wow.
Maker's Mark, and so he made that. So he makes pens. He does a bunch of other stuff. He's a retired veteran. So, but he's just a really cool guy. Their collection of whiskey is ridiculous there, and follow Jessie too, his wife, late in the bourbon. I really hope she's on with us tonight. This is featuring Mike, but I'm
Hopefully she can
assuming,
pop on at
I'm
least.
assuming she will be there as well, just like kind of like how Mike was. I'm trying to think what else. I
Even
mean,
on like looking down the road, right? Like, and you're like, you've added new are there any new segments, or even like like the way the uncorking is like another offshoot of the main show? Anything like that you're either considering or in the works?
I'm
Maybe.
not really, because okay, so I've been doing my TGIF shaves every
Yeah.
Friday. So I have one coming. I actually have like 3 lives today, which is fun. So I have that one coming. So that's kind of like a live that we
Yep.
do every
Sure.
week, but it's not like with Mel. So I don't know. Not
That is okay. So it's a
not
live shave. You
yeah,
doing a live shave?
not
Yep.
really. Besides that, I mean, with our BBS lives, we added different segments. So we have unboxing with Mel. It's all with Mel. Unboxing with Mel.
Why is that?
So unboxing with Mel is because Mel gets packages and then he doesn't open them. So
Yeah,
it got
that's
to the
kind of
point where
weird.
it's like, Mel, you have all these packages, like you probably don't even remember what they are. Just bust out like at least one or two, and see what it is. Like Mel and I talked last night, and I told him that there's probably, I think he had a package from Chris from Gentleman's Odd of Cosacea Catalana, which is a set. He doesn't remember opening it, so I guarantee he has it in one of his rooms. So we have that, which is
Oh my
always a good
god.
time.
Okay,
And
get
then
that.
yeah, Urban Dictionary with Mo, which is our late night in BBS Live. And then we have just kind of like mic drop moments, like something that you bought or happened to you between the 2 weeks. If it's anything that happened in the community, or which I know recently there was some drama in the community, which is a good time. But yeah, we have that. But besides I guess bringing up Gentleman's Nod, we have our collab with him coming out early May. So
Ooh, nice.
hopefully we got like the first iteration of it, and that wasn't the jam. That was
Okay.
not what we were looking for. And then he got another one, and he didn't even send that to us because it still wasn't right. So hopefully we'll be getting the third iteration of it coming up here, and hopefully that will be close.
Okay, so this is still very much in the process
Oh yeah,
of, it's not like buttoned up and just waiting to be released later on.
in the
Okay.
process. And we're I mean, John, with you kind of know how that works with your guys' release of Voices recently. I mean, what was that
Fall?
within the year, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But kind of like I mean, maybe it was easy
Sure.
for you guys. Maybe it was like, hey, you smelled it and you're like, yep, we like that. But
Right. It just depends. And you never know, especially if we're talking about a custom scent. It
right.
might take quite a few back and forth. Right. And like you said, it could, uh, for us, I think we got lucky in the first iteration. I think we just had to fine tune it as
Fine
opposed to
tune it.
like,
So it was,
no, like, that's not really what we're going for.
yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. The one cool thing with Chris is he wants us to be happy with the scent and make sure, because we're aiming for to be good as Musashi, and if it can be better, that's just a bonus. That's the goal. That's the goal.
That's a high bar, Nate.
Because why?
That's kind of a high bar.
I know, but why come out with
Anything less?
or why not push for that goal?
Yeah.
When we came out with Barrel Proof, it seemed like a lot of people liked it, but
Well, and even that, through that process, right, the production of that, there's also kind of like some bumps in the road, right? Like
exactly.
no doubt. And there's just other factors, lessons. I don't know if you want to share like a lesson learned from that process the first time. I don't know if we talked about this before when you came on the podcast, possibly, but
yeah, no.
Since you're in it again, is there anything that anything you
Um,
can share, like something that you learned from doing Barrel Proof?
yeah. So I think I actually listened. I'm telling you, I had a gig up north Minnesota, like pretty much Canada. So I listened to your podcasts. So I went through a ton of episodes because it was like a 4.5 hour drive.
Right.
And I listened to ours. So I do remember you asking that question. So I think with just the duo, learning from that was when we had the scent not to bring it out in a vegan base that was new, and probably we shouldn't have rushed that.
Untested.
Yes.
Right.
Shouldn't have rushed that. So with barrel proof, I feel like that we were kind of in like the mindset of like, we need to make sure we're doing this right, which probably helped the fact that barrel proof is really good. I mean, I think it's really good. So actually just building off that, going into this Gentleman's Nod collab, I think we're just making sure we hit all the boxes of even building off of barrel proof. Cause I think even with barrel proof, I probably stuff we wanted to do differently too. So, it's interesting in learning, like working with artisans too, and how different each one of them is, because like, we had, with not as the level where we are with Heather and Chris with this collab, like with Shannon's, with FML, and Peter did the oh god,
now it's called cucumber melon now, right?
Yeah.
It was
why am I blanking on the name?
He-Man and Skeletor.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on the name?
Low Scent Skeletor.
Low Scent Skeletor, yeah. Low Scent Skeletor.
That's right. Nate's nickname, for those who don't know.
Yeah. And then, God, what did we have another one? I don't even know.
But some of those though were not this back and forth. It was more like a tribute soap, right? Because the scent was already done, kind of like signed off on it, but like it's not like this kind of. It's not the same as the barrel proof, the duo process.
But even with that, like it was still, talking with Brandon, Shannon, and Peter, and it was still like, hey, this is kind of what we're looking for. But again, that was
I see.
Not a collab. That was more a tribute type of thing. But they hit it out of the park like right away. Like I dig Low Scent Skeletor and
it's a good scent. Actually, it's a good scent.
Yeah, it is a really good scent.
And appropriate of the name.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I think just in general, just working with different artisans and seeing how different they are and how they handle stuff. It's fun to see like the behind the scenes type of thing. Even though we're behind the scenes, seeing the behind the scenes of behind the scenes. So.
It's inception of soap making.
Yeah. We're super excited for this one with Gentleman's Nod, because Chris is really a good guy, and I think he showed that on the Artisan Spotlight, the Razor Company Artisan Spotlight with Angelo and J Mac. He is super passionate about what he does, like all artisans, but it was nice seeing it because I think with Chris, he's so, I wouldn't say quiet, reserved, maybe
yeah.
He's not out there, like he's not, but he's definitely very passionate in what he does, and it shows in his work. Like he'll go the extra, he'll pay the extra money to make sure things are where he wants it and looking good, with labels, with everything else. So with fragrances, so yeah, should be good. Should be fun.
Yeah. I've had great conversation, side conversations with Chris, hoping to have him on for the podcast as well. He's someone that we haven't talked to yet.
For sure.
So,
I think that'll be a good one.
I same as you. I've really enjoyed like this past year. They've always had good stuff, and just I think really hitting the stride now as far as their original scent offerings and like label art, because before they kind of went with that template thing, which very clean professional labels before, but now it kicked it up into next gear. So
I mean, Koseishi Catalana could have been like one of the top like labels of last last year. Like it
beautiful
was
label. Musashi that we both like.
Actually, yeah. But
you know.
that Kosei Shikata Lana was just gorgeous. So yeah. It's, you know, every artisan, it's hard to make a bad soap. Like it seems like every artisan is producing something really good, but it's you see the artisans that are kind of like that top. They're kind of at the tops, and you can see why. You know, it's funny with it's soap, but again, labels really make it too for you. If you don't have a good label, then are people really going to want to purchase it? Which is stupid, so stupid. But a label draws you in. So,
especially I forget who I was talking to, but like if you're someone new on the scene, a really well designed labels like thematic or whatever can really help you, kind of push you in the forefront, have people try your stuff.
Right. Exactly.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Yes, it does not affect the shave, but there are these like psychological factors, factors at play.
It's shave of the days too. I mean, that if you want to get
free marketing.
Make sure you have a good label because people will use it and get your name out. Like they'll advertise for you
for free.
For free.
Yeah, for free.
They paid you and they are advertising.
Right.
So
absolutely true.
Right.
All right. Well,
any more questions?
Let me check. I'm just gonna
wait. I'm assuming Howard meant eat the competition.
No.
For you? God.
He meant what he meant.
Yeah. What oh man.
Carlos wants you to know that he has your address.
Thanks. Yeah, Carlos wants to send me an injector razor.
Yes,
razor. So
he mentioned to me. So there's something fun for you to try.
Yeah, I've never tried. I mean, vintage. I've never tried a Schick, so that'll be interesting to try. So
I think you'll have fun, and especially after you sharing that you're not chasing as much blade feel, I think you're in for a better time. Because before I would also say injectors are probably too mild for you, but I don't think so. This might be the one.
Okay.
It'll be a good time.
Okay, cool.
So I'll have to check back in with you after you try those injectors. But Nate, just on our way out, you have 2 more lives today. Friday, March 10th. So go follow Nate at BBS.Live on Instagram. What time is going to be your live shave? Around like 4:30 Central? It's kind of flexible.
It's always around like 4 p.m. Central, around that time. I'm always late. I always put a time and I'm always late. So it's around that time. So
like 4:30 Central time. Yeah. And then tonight at a more firm time of 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern is Uncorking. If you're into bourbon or wanting to learn more about bourbon, go follow Nate. Both you and Mel are on for tonight also, or?
Yes. Yeah. So me, Mel, Brandon Shaves will be there. He's always there with us. And then
Brandon's there too. Okay.
Mike and Jesse. So yeah, it's a good, it's different than our BBS Lives if you haven't caught an Uncorking, but it is enjoyable. The actual like uncorking is, like probably 20 minutes. And then John, you were on with us. Then it kind of turns into a BBS Live style where it's
more shaving talking.
more shaving and then just kind of BSing too. So So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a good time. So
awesome. So looking forward to those lives. Catch their main show. It'll be on next Thursday, and then every other week. You guys are very consistent with that. So all that being said, Nate, thank you so much for taking some time for joining for this live stream. Folks in the live chat, thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure as always, interacting with you, with all trying to hold in my laughter with all the funny comments.
Thank you for telling me to open up my iPad and looking at the comments, because they're funny.
They're good. They're meant for you. A lot of them were meant for you,
right?
Especially. So thank you guys. If you're catching the replay, I really appreciate for if you're viewing this in any way, appreciate your time and your support of the channel. I don't know if it's going to be weekly, but they are at least announced ahead of time. So
Yeah.
whether this is every other week or weekly, I'll do them when I can, because it's been a lot of fun having you, Nate, and other guests on. This will be a focus, I can say, with other people who making content. If they're hosting an Instagram show, if they're making YouTube videos, that's what these live streams are about. Kind of very fun, natural, free-flowing conversations that way.
These are awesome. Like I don't think I've missed one, and I know you've had Bilu on with you, and that's always a good time. So
Bilu's great.
You need to keep going for sure. If you can do once a week, I'm gonna be there.
Okay, so Nate votes for once a week, and I think in general, I think as long as there's no conflict, once a week is what we'll do. So so thank you again, Nate. Thank you again, viewers. Really appreciate you guys, and I hope you all have a great weekend. See you next time.
Later. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Nate.